This week on Sister Wives, Janelle struggles with the RV. Christine packs up her truck and gets ready to move on to greener pastures. McKelty reminds everyone they're still a family. And Mary is nowhere to be found. She must be off touring with Duran Duran. Kody finally says what we've all been thinking.
And nobody likes me.
Hello and welcome to Reality Recapped, where I recap all of the trashiest reality shows. If you're new here, my name is Heather. I have a degree in psychology, and it's through that lens that I watch these shows and make my comments. Of course, I have not met with any of these people, and so everything that I state is simply an opinion. This channel offers a little bit of education and a whole lot of snark.
I'm going over to talk to Christine. The last conversation we had when we were all together was pretty rough.
Accountability is what I've been asking for, and you are running away.
I was a little shocked at Kody's behavior. He was just angry.
It was just terrible. I really thought it would go so much better.
It's okay, because everybody needs to express their emotions.
And then he lost it.
Treated you like dirt from the very beginning. That's the reason I'm pissed off.
Because I didn't realize I wasn't giving Robin a chance. I never thought that I was being mean or mistreating her in any way.
It's frustrating to watch this dance happen over and over again, where Kody deflects responsibility by blaming Christine and stating she's doing things that none of us think she's doing. I don't think any of the viewers think that Christine was mean to anyone. She's not a mean person. Getting involved in this dance is never going to get Christine anywhere either. So it's best just to disengage. Don't feel like you need to defend yourself. Don't play the game. Don't get involved in this like back and forth stuff, because you're never going to win. It's never going to be his fault. And that's okay. You don't need for him to take responsibility for you to get closure and to move on.
So shocked at his aggression. And I was expecting people to be hurt. I was expecting it. I didn't know that he'd be volatile.
He's been sort of agitated and angry, and I think he hasn't known how to express it.
There's a term called narcissistic rage, and it happens when the narcissist feels like they've been criticized or rejected. It can look really similar to a toddler kind of just losing it. If you're in a situation and someone is going into a rage, what is the best way to deal with it? The first way I would recommend is to validate their emotions. Tell them, hey, I'm really sorry when I did X, Y, and Z. Sounds like you're really hurt about that. I'm really sorry. It's difficult because you might not have done anything wrong, but if your goal is to calm the person down, that's probably the best route to go.
It sounded the other day like you just didn't even want to see Robin or Marianne, and I think that's how Robin felt. Like,
that's not what I was trying to convey at all.
This feels really unfair to me as well. Like, Robin's making this about her and her kids, and it's like, Christine has been looked over, and her children have as well. So she's decided to leave because she deserves better, and she knows it. And she's supposed to be best friends with someone who has been getting preferential treatment. It just feels so unfair.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how we navigate all of this now. It seems like we focus on common experience and the kids.
I think that it's even more than that. I would consider you one of my best friends.
It's nice to see that there's a silver lining here. There's all these kids, there is a sense of family, and these two women also offer one another strength. So it's nice to see that.
Always wanted my wives to have close relationships.
Having wives that are close means that you're treating them all equally and fairly. And if you're not doing that, you're destroying their relationships by your behavior.
And Christine trash talking Janelle about the one house thing. I'm begging Janelle for a closer relationship. Feels like she's rejecting that and just choosing to have one with Christine.
This is just nonsense. This is more just twisting reality. He's not trying to get closer to Janelle. We all see the way he treats her. It's ridiculous. And we can all imagine she's probably going to leave soon. And it's a way for Kody to claim victim when that happens.
I don't know how to not be on a side or be perceived as being on a side.
I think this is going to be really hard for Janelle to navigate, because I think Kody is going to force her to take a side or another, and I don't think she's going to take his side. So it's another way of her getting pushed out.
All our holiday traditions, a lot of them were you. They're not trying to choose sides, and your kids aren't either.
I want you to be picking sides.
Wrong. I have my duty to my family. You know, Robin, Kody, Mary. I really want to be with Christine and her kids at the holidays. I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't.
I think Mary, Kody, and Robin will all see Janelle spending time with Christine and holidays with Christine as an act of disloyalty. And I think they will become more aggressive toward her than they already are. Kody is already ramping up his aggression toward her. And it's only a matter of time before they make it so inhospitable that she can't she can't be in both worlds as she's hoping to be. And honestly, guys, if I have those choices, those two households, which one would you go to? I'm going to go to Christine's because I know it's going to be fun. I know it's going to be playful. I know it's going to be lighthearted. I don't want to go to Robin, Kody, and Mary's place. It just seems miserable and grumpy, and I don't want to take a COVID test before I go over there. I don't want to have to wear a mask. Don't make me sit outside in December.
Kody's been always, well, let's get her COVID tested and I can take her every weekend and she can just hang out and sleep over at Robin. Like, she'll go over for a couple of hours and that's all that she wants to do.
Could she come back for the summer?
I don't even know if she'd last a weekend.
There's no doubt I'm going to have to travel to see her. The time will come when Christine won't even come to Flagstaff anymore.
If you can't be bothered to visit your kid when they live in the same city and only minutes away, how likely do you think it is that he's actually going to go visit truly? I just don't have a lot of faith. He doesn't seem very dedicated to seeing all of his children. He seems okay with ignoring most of them.
Do you think you'll remarry?
Somebody else, not Kody.
I love her.
I'm open.
You just can't be alone for the rest of your life.
I think Christine's an amazing person, and I think she would be a really good partner for somebody, and she definitely deserves someone who really loves and respects her. It's important to note that the worst situation is to be in a relationship that you're not happy in, which is where Christine is now. So whether she meets somebody else or not, her life is going to improve.
I'm starting over again.
My heart is broken. Might be why I'm so angry.
I don't think for a second that his heart is broken. I think it's his ego that got hit.
I've still got to actually maintain the other relationship.
Yeah, duh. You don't have to explain that to us. We get that more than you do, probably.
Right now, I've got to go take care of my relationship with Janelle. I can put a jack under that without even moving anything. I want to level the axles and go off of that.
What happens when the trailer's not level is I start having problems with my sewage tanks.
Ugh. That is, ugh.
Like, it's crazy.
Man, does that paint a picture I never want to see.
Being sweet with each other. It's a little antagonistic. Will you hand me this rod? This antagonistic relationship, it is not cooperative. I don't know why. I think it's just a piece of and they've sold us a lemon here, and we can't get the damn thing to level because it's supposed to self-level, and it never has.
I've mentioned this before. Kody and his way of acting, like his intensity, stresses me out. And you guys made me feel better because you also agreed with me that your blood pressure also rises when he starts talking like this. It drives me crazy. Like, my heart rate right now is super elevated. I'm gonna go put my feet up against the wall and take some deep breaths.
I don't think Janelle or I are being honest or realistic in this relationship. We never had a really deep discussion about spending that vast amount of money.
Maybe he just wasn't paying attention. He's here, he's not always really tuned in. What if I just go for 6 months into town and just come back out here in April?
Janelle is augmenting her plan because she originally thought she was going to have electricity on the property, and she doesn't want to go through winter without those two things, which is completely reasonable.
What if we move into town for 6 months? And he's like, no.
And remember, just last episode, Kody was saying he couldn't be close with Savannah and Janelle because they didn't have a home where he could go to. So that excuse is going to be taken away, and he's not for it at all. So this is typical Kody. He doesn't mean anything that he says. He's just looking for justifications to do what he wants to do.
We decided to come in town to help Mom move, be able to spend a day with Robin and the kids.
It's funny, McKelty doesn't even mention her dad.
To Robin. She was the first one to really accept our relationship. Beginning, she was the only one. I know.
Hey, you guys! I'm so happy that Tony and McKelty came to visit. I'm so glad you came to see us. With your mom and stuff like that. I just appreciate you coming and stuff. Our relationship continues, and it's based on what goes on in our relationship.
It's not based on outside sources.
It feels like everything's affected my relationship with everybody, though.
Again, Kody can't take ownership in his part and why the relationships have failed. It's Christine's fault, according to him.
So are you doing okay?
Yeah.
As far as your mom and everything?
I think it's sad. I think it's important to support what she wants.
How long have you guys known?
Look at how uncomfortable they look at this question.
I know that I can't talk Christine to my kids. My natural urge is to do that. I have to control that because that's not fair.
Wow, Father of the Year.
I want to break something.
Like Janelle's spirit?
If I was like the last to know.
This is also interesting because he'll say in one moment that she's been complaining for years and she's been unhappy for years and they knew for years. And on the other hand, where did this come from? It came out of nowhere. There's no truth here, which is so frustrating.
Tony would probably be the last to know if I was, leaving him.
Tony's face is like, oh my God, throw me under the bus.
Probably not first to know, but you're not last.
It's interesting that he's so focused on this because what difference does it make? Let's say he was the last to know. It doesn't change the outcome. Why are you dragging your kids into this conversation? It's completely unnecessary. It doesn't change anything.
I'm angry, but we don't need to deal with that. But I don't want people.
It's hilarious to watch. I love his expression and laughing. It's great.
I don't want to push you to pick sides.
I don't feel like my dad asked me to pick sides at all. I feel exactly the same way about my mom, that I still have a strong relationship with both of them.
That our three together relationship doesn't change just because my mom's decided to leave dad. It doesn't change it.
I think it's good McKelty is stating all of this, but if he is a narcissist, there's no way he's going to be able to not try to triangulate everybody else onto his side.
I was a little bit relieved, to find out that she was like finally getting out because it wasn't a good relationship for her. Felt like they should separate for a while, like even before we moved to Las Vegas.
Christina said this before. I'm surprised to hear Gwendolyn saying it, and I wonder if it was from her childhood that she remembered that, or if this was a conversation they had.
We'll load up the last few things, shut the truck and move away.
Nobody's gonna come over and say bye?
I don't know what to do. What do you want me to do? I think if you want to say something, that's fine, but keep it to the Flagstaff family.
I want my mom to have everybody say goodbye to her.
I think McKelty's intention is coming from a really good place. She's trying to establish a foundation that we're still a family and things are just going to look different, but we're all still a family. The thing that I struggle with is that she doesn't know what the last conversation was like. And while she's doing a good thing, I think Christine has been through enough. I don't think she needs to meet and have people say goodbye to her. I think she earned her way out of this relationship a very long time ago. And I don't want her to be forced to interact with people that have been so rude to her and so unkind to her. How did you feel about Christine needing to say goodbye to everybody and McKelty prompting her to do that? Did you think that was a positive thing or a negative thing?
Why don't you go in the house?
We can't go in the house. Because we got to be COVID social distanced.
Kids have to be so confused because just a few days earlier, they all got together and hugged. And a few weeks earlier, this was Kody dancing at a wedding.
I'm leaving in 5 minutes. This is such an awkward moment to have this family gathering and say goodbye that is way off course. It's not even right. It feels so demeaning. I don't want to deal with this at all.
Okay, maybe I am on board with this after all.
I'm not really sad about Dad and Christine breaking up. I'm really sad that Christine is moving.
Why I was not there, because I was up at my B&B. She really wasn't interested in having a relationship with me, so why be there and do some big goodbye?
It's awkward outside. It's weird. It's intense. Nobody really wants to be here. Uncomfortable.
And sick.
I feel like my life is being unraveled for me. I feel out of control.
You cannot ignore your spouse for years and then be surprised when they leave. You set this all in motion. It's frustrating for him to not have any sort of accountability, which is the very thing that he was accusing Christine of not having.
Thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate it. It means a lot.
Fun. It's bittersweet. It's nice that we're all here and we can all be here together the last night that Mom's here in Flagstaff. I think this is probably something that's one of the hardest things that this family is going to have to go through. But I think that it's awesome. We can all be here to show that at the end of this all, we are still a family. There's no one to blame. It is what it is, and we should just all be grateful that even through this, we can remain family and we can remain together and that we can support each other still through all of it. I'm glad you guys are all here because I think it's good to say goodbye to this house, this chapter.
What was in my heart? I didn't know how to say it, so thank you.
So it's very apparent how awkward we all are. But Janelle and her kids are on one side and Robin and Kody are on the other, and none of us wanted to be here.
Bye, Christine. Good luck.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Why did you and Dad break up?
We just weren't in love anymore. That happens sometimes. But we'll still hang out sometimes. We just weren't in love. Oh, well, it doesn't always fix everything, my love, but thank you. What a good idea. But we'll still hang out sometimes.
Not unlike all my children, imposing your view on the rest of us. All right? Your phone has video chat, and you and I can video chat.
Have you been video chatting her this whole time during COVID? No, I don't think so. Maybe it's a new phone. I don't know. Why am I jumping to conclusions? This whole meeting is so cringy. I just want everyone to leave. I don't want anyone to yell at Christine before they go. I just want it to be peaceful. Bye, everybody. Bye, 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 bye.
I'm gonna miss you and I hope to see you soon, sweetie.
It just seemed like Robin's kids were angry too. That was the hardest part, is that her kids are angry too.
No, my kids weren't angry with her. It's just devastating.
All right, you guys needed.
I wouldn't have asked for this. I didn't ask for like having them all come over. It was important for McKelty and for her and for everybody to see truly. Probably was, but I certainly didn't need it. It's worse than I thought it would have been. Thank you. You chapters. Okay. I think this was the worst goodbye that I've ever witnessed.
Love you guys.
Thanks. We're out of here.
That's it for this week, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it makes a huge difference on my end. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.